How far you say you? About 5 minutes.
I raise my children up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just wanna fall on you, to show the devils you ain't nothing to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. U.P.K play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 VG. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. I'm on my grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, cause they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the sweet. Tell y'all to do the sweet. If a nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. U.P.K play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we takes. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it low to the T. U.P.K play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm
Hey, Shalom, Israel. We the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command in General YAHANNA. The I.S.U.P.K. is not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. None, nada, zero, zilch. I'm Officer Naquam of the Nashville School. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shabarakathumna, my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bahashem Yahweh Shad, my sisters. And we got a good class tonight. We're going to be talking about why do the world look at the real Jews as to be the imposters, and why do they look at, the fake Jews to be the real Jews? All right. The Lord the Most High, sometimes, we always wonder why we in the conditions that we in. Why? What happened? This is what Black people do not ask. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We don't ask the simple questions of why. We grew up inside of these churches and these Muslim mosques and things of that nature, and we weren't allowed to ask why. And if we did ask why, they didn't have no answers for us. You know what I'm saying? So, through the grace of YAHANNA, man, and under the tutelage of Commander General YAHANNA, we have finally learned the answers to why we are in the conditions that we are in. All right. And it has everything to do with our disobedience to our God. All right. Everything that we go through is right inside of these scriptures, man. When you read the Israelites inside the scriptures, you read the Bible, you are reading the book of the Israelites. That's what the Bible is. It's the book of the Israelites. All right. It's the history and the relationship that the Israelites had with their God. All right. And this is where we find all of our answers at today. The I.S.U.P.K ain't just some, magical, mythical, people that understand all things, concerning God and everything. We are just, the Lord just revealed it here. You do what I'm saying? He just revealed, he just revealed his knowledge, and his truth into the I.S.U.P.K. So we just took it and we're just doing what the prophets of old done. Same way he revealed his knowledge to them. He just going and telling the people what God said. All right. He going and giving them answers. The prophets of old gave the people answers, and the I.S.U.P.K are giving the people answers also. Those same answers. And the same answers that were in the prophets had back in, millennia ago. Well, it's the same thing. It ain't changed because our people have not changed. We still are doing the exact same thing that they was doing back then. All right. It's just that, we have more technology and other other ways to sin. And we have more access to sin than they did, but but sin is sin. It's all the same. All right. And we have the answers. And one of the reasons why, when we go out on the streets and we tell people that, they are the original, they are the true Jews. They are the Israelites, that the Bible is talking about. These are the same people. Those are our ancestors. We go out and tell people that, and people look at us like we're crazy, and be like, even though, and this is the crazy part right here, y'all, even though they know that the so-called Jewish people cannot be, the people just simply off of skin color. You know what I'm saying? They don't know, all of the history and all of the anthropology and, archaeology that we know. They just know that white people just didn't come from that region. You know what I'm saying? And everybody know this. Everybody know this, but still, they still was called them, the Jews, because they call themselves the Jews. You do what I'm saying? Even though they know that, white people just did not come from that area at all. So, so the question, has to be answered. Well, okay, if y'all know that they not the real Jews, then who are the real Jews? And that's where it gets complicated, because people will be like, well, it can't be us, because we are the niggers. You do what I'm saying? We are the SHALAM. We are the savages. So, we don't know who the true Jews are. But what we do know is it can't be y'all. You do what I'm saying? That's what we do know. And, that's supposed to be that way. That's what we don't understand. We understand it in the I.S.U.P.K, but people outside of the I.S.U.P.K don't understand why Kanye is getting all of the backlash when he says that do he call himself Kanye? I don't think he calls Ye. When Ye get all the backlash because of him saying that the true Jews are black. And Kyrie Irving getting all the backlash, and Nick Cannon and everybody else get all of the backlash when they say that the true Jews are black. It's a reason behind it. And it's bigger than what you just see right in front of you. What you see right in front of you is just some racist ass Jewish people who just, slick want to just say that, y'all are niggas and, it can't be y'all. You do what I'm saying? Instead, but in reality, it's deeper than that. It's more spiritual than that. And that's what we're going to go over today. Why are we a reproach to the heathen? All right, what's a reproach? All right, do you know what a reproach is, sis? If not, I got the definition.
Nah,
okay. All right, so for a reproach, this is the definition of reproach: to address in such a way as to express disapproval or disappointment. All right, so when someone looks at you, and turn up their nose to you, or someone looks at you and call you, all kind of names, and they have disappointment in you. Well, that's how we are to these other nations of people. All right, no matter, in my opinion, there are so many other people, so many other races of people and nations of people who are beneath us, in reality, but they, are above us in every aspect of life. In reality, they can't, hold a candle to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in anything. But in the game of life, they win. You know what I'm saying? These other nations of people are beating us and running circles around us in the game of life, and they shouldn't be. And they look down on us because, even though I'm gonna give you as good as that, even though the Chinese people, eat snails and, bats and, what I'm saying, all kind, rice and could fly, what I'm saying, they still look down on us. These people who literally eat bats and stuff. You do what I'm saying? They eat every creature that crawls throughout the world. They eat it. And it's a delicacy. And, they are just gross and nasty. And, those people are just disgusting. But guess what? They still think they're better than you. You go over to East India. They putting, they got period juice. They put period, the little red dot on their head. That's period. They put period on their head. And, those people are, if you go over there, the whole country stink. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. These are some of the nastiest people you ever want to meet, man. I don't work with some of them. And they are some of the nastiest people you ever want to meet. But guess what? They still think they're better than you. I don't even got to speak on the white man. You know what I'm saying? And how nasty and conniving and evil and wicked they are, and they still think that they are better than you, in their worst state. You do what I'm saying? The hobo white man will call, LeBron James a nigger. And he ain't got a home to go to, or, you know what I'm saying? They still, in their worst state. I was watching something, and this white woman had dementia, right? This white woman had dementia. So, dementia is a disease. It's a disorder where you forget, you forget everything. But even in her worst state of dementia, she still knew enough to call this black woman a nigger. You dig what I'm saying? She don't even know her own kids. She don't even know her own name. She done forgot how to eat. Somebody got to, wipe her butt and take her to the bathroom. But she still knew enough to call the black woman who was taking care of her a nigger. We are still a reproach to the heathen. Even in their worst state, they still think that they are better than us. And we think that, it's just, how we, how they were raised. That's what we believe, how they were raised. And we don't even understand that it's a deeper spiritual reason why. All right. We're going to go over there. We're going to go to Deuteronomy. We're going to go. If y'all got any questions, you can type them into the chat. Salaki. Y'all got any questions, you can type them into the chat. And I'll answer your questions. If there's any questions in the room, I'll answer your questions. But we're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, right? We're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. All right. So Deuteronomy 28. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. I'm going to start out with verse 1. You always got to go to the basis. Everything that we dealing with as a people, it originates right there in the book of Deuteronomy. It's all of the answers and the reasons why we dealing with it is right there in the book of Deuteronomy. We think that it might be something deeper, but it really ain't. You know what I'm saying? It's really not deep at all. Why we going through it and who putting us through it, and it's not really that deep. All right, Salaki. The brother put on there. They look down on us because we don't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. The law is our wisdom in their sight. Not following it makes us look and be foolish. The brother is right on point. All right. He's exactly right. The reason why we're going through this is because, we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. And I'm going to break it down, though. I'm going to get even deeper than that. All right. And I'm going to start at verse Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1, right? Deuteronomy 28 and 1. It says, are you there, Aqua? Okay. All right. Deuteronomy 28:1. It says, and it shall come to pass if thou hearken diligent unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. All right. The Bible is the most, the most circulated book on the planet Earth, right? So everybody done read the Bible before. Everybody has access to our records, all right? And people who read it and actually study the Bible understand that the children of Israel, all of the problems that the children of Israel always had, it was because they didn't serve their God, and their God, put curses on them because they didn't serve them, all right? So, because they was under a contract and pretty much they just broke the contract. All right. So that's why, the Lord told them, from the jump, look, serve me and I'll do everything. I'll be everything for you, everything you need. You won't have to worry, and you'll be above all nations of people. So you're up here, all nations of people down here. You're greater, you will be greater than all other nations of people. So people understood throughout the world that these certain people, these Israelites, that they had a God that was actually alive, living, and was able to, put them above all other people and put them in accesses and places that no other, God could do. All right. They had a real God, and everybody understood that, except us. All right. We the only ones, who didn't understand it. To this day, we still are the only ones who don't understand it. All right? The Jewish people understand that, by serving our God, that they were, by acting like they're, serving our God, that they can, pose to be us and be above all nations of people. All right. So the Lord will place other nations of people above us, you know, and just so happened the Jewish people stole our identity, and you know, the Lord allowed them to prosper, you know, like he would have did anybody. If the Chinese would have stolen it, he would have did it to them. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who would have stole our identity and act like they the Jews, the Lord would have provoked us to jealousy with those people, regardless, whoever it was. You know, it could have been the Africans, some Australians, it could have been anybody, you know, but the Lord would have, you know, provoked us to anger with those people, you know, and to jealousy, with those people. All right, we're going to drop down to verse 16. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and statutes I commanded this day, that these curses shall come upon thee, and I will take thee. So now, if we didn't follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, then all of these curses that the Lord has available, and he has many curses available, you know, for us, you know, if we refuse to serve him, you know, and so he gives a rundown in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, you know, 15 through 68. All of those are the curses that the Lord had for the children of Israel if they did not follow him. All right. One of those curses, though, was unique to what I'm talking about right now. He said, and I'm gonna go to verse 36. He said, and thou, Deuteronomy 28 and 36. He said, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou set over thee unto a nation which whether thou nor thy fathers have known, and thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. So now the Lord, one of the curses that we had is that the Lord was going to set us in a land that we had no idea about. And, you know, he was going to cause us to serve the people of those lands. All right. So the people inside of these lands, they serve all of these fake gods. All right. They serve the gods of wood and stone. All right. So you're going to, you know, wherever we at, we're going to be serving gods of wood and stone where we at. All right. And this is one of those curses that the Most High gave to us because we refuse to serve him. So he's like, okay, well, you don't want to serve me. I'm going to send you somewhere where you're going to be serving other gods because that's what you want to do anyway. Serve other gods. All right. Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. So the Most High was like, you know what? I'm going to set you inside of these lands. You know, everybody know that I'm your God and that, you know, I'm the only true God that you will ever have, you know, that really cares about you. So I'm going to put you in these lands where you're going to be second and third class citizens and you're going to serve their gods. You're not going to serve a God who look like you. You're not going to serve a God who understands you. You're not going to serve a God, you know, who loves you only and you only. You're going to be serving these gods, you know, the Allahs and the white Jesuses and, you know, the Buddhas. And, you know, you're going to be serving all of these kind of gods who don't care nothing about you. And, you know, they are, you know, they care about their people. You know, their people care about their God. And, you know, they really don't care about you. All right. And you're going to become an astonishment. Why is he going to become an astonishment? Why did the Lord say that he was going to make us an astonishment? People going to look at us and be like, wow. Why is he saying that? Go ahead.
Because it's going to be like so bad that people ain't going to believe that we the actual people that he chose.
Get yourself in. You hit it right on the nose. The Lord going to make us an astonishment. It's going to be so bad. And we're going to be so, you know, caught up in serving these other gods that the people going to look at us and be like, ain't no way that y'all the children of Israel. Ain't no way that, you know, the God that we read inside of this Bible going to allow you to fall so low. You look at the state of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are in probably the lowest state we've ever been in the history of Israel. He was like, ain't no way that God, it's why y'all actually have a God. Y'all walk through the sea. Y'all done been in slavery for 400 years twice. You do what I'm saying? Not once. We've been in slavery for 400 years twice. All right, and survived. Y'all walked through the Red Sea. Y'all done been through all of these captivities. Y'all done, how did y'all not say, you know what? We're finna go back to our God. He allowed us to go so low that we ain't even looking and saying, you know what? Why don't we try going back to our God? Because we serving these Christian gods, and look how low we've fallen serving these Christian gods. We serving these Arab gods, these Muslim gods, and look how far we've fallen serving these gods. And all of these other gods, we serving all of these other gods, and look how far we have fallen. And people are looking at us like, it's an astonishment. I was on TikTok, and it was a dude. He was so-called black. They think that all black people, if you got black skin, then you're a black person. So he was like, man, the American blacks, he said, y'all are such an embarrassment to our race. And he said, I wish that y'all would just find, just leave our race and then join your own race, because you are such an embarrassment to our race. And I was thinking to myself, well, damn, that's what we trying to do. He got a point. I wish that everybody could understand that, because he understands what we understand, that we different than y'all. But he was saying it in a way to, make us into a byword or a proverb. Lord said, he said, thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword among all nations, whether I lead. So all people look at us, as, they can't believe that there's such a low people on earth the way that we are. We have absolutely no brotherhood whatsoever. No other race of people on earth, deals with that amount of, unbrotherly. How do you say it? They don't deal with the amount of unbrotherly love that we do. No other people wake up and go to sleep thinking about how they can kill or demean or degrade another brother or sister as much as we do. We are an astonishment to the people. And that's why nobody can believe that we are the true Jews. And all the heathens got to say is, look at them. You do what I'm saying? God wouldn't allow his chosen people to fall so low. He wouldn't allow his chosen people to, they don't know anything. They totally forgot the law. Totally forgot everything that God ever, said to their people. Why would he allow them to go so low? Clearly, he must have forgotten about them. Clearly, he must have, kicked them to the curb. That's what the Christians say. The Christians say, God, we hated God so much that God just kicked us to the curb and chose them. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Christians say. And he don't deal with the Israelites no more. He chose, another nation of people. Christ came for the Israelites, but the Israelites rejected him, so he went to everybody else. And now everybody else is a spiritual Israelite. That's where the spiritual Israelite doctrine come from. All right. How low we have fallen. It wouldn't be a spiritual Israelite doctrine if our people wouldn't have not fallen so low. And that's just the truth of the matter. All right. We're going to drop that, man. So that's the main reason. If you go all the way down to the the nuts and bolts of it, that's where it's at right there. that the Lord is causing us to be an astonishment to the nations, and a byword and a proverb and a reproach to the other nations of people. Most High is doing it. All right. That's the spiritual aspect of it. Of course, there's, physical aspects, and there's, other things that play. But, if you want to get down to the real nuts and bolts of it, it's because we are disobedient to our God. All right, let's go to Ezekiel. Go to the book of Ezekiel. It's going to get a little deeper. I'm going to just keep getting a little deeper and a little deeper. Ezekiel chapter 5. And let me see which verse. I'm going to start it. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 8. We're going to start at verse 8. All right, so it's going to get, the Lord, the Most High is going to get a little deeper with it, all right? He's going to start to explain why he feels the way that he feels towards us and why he allowed us to fall so far, all right? And he's gonna explain. But when you see the explanation, right, another thing you're gonna see is that we have not changed since the book of Ezekiel. You know what I'm saying? This is what you're gonna see inside of this breakdown. That I'm breaking down. The Lord, through the Spirit of Christ, that the Lord is breaking down through me. All right. You're gonna find out that our people have not changed at all. All right, and you wonder why the Most High was mad then? Well, it's the same reason why he mad now. All right, and reason why he allowed us to go so far. All right, he said, verse 8, Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 8. Aqua, you got it? He said, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, even I, am against thee, and will execute judgment in the midst of thee, in the sight of the nations. All right. So the Most High is punishing the children of Israel, right? To this day. He said he was going to do it back then, and he's still doing it right now. But the thing that we don't understand is that he's doing it before all of the nations. All right. He's allowing brothers like Ye to become billionaires. You know why he's allowing them to become billionaires? So he can show the world that he's in control and that he's finna destroy. He's going to bring Ye down, and you're thinking that it's the Jewish man who's doing it, right? It's not the Jewish man. The Most High is in control of everything. All right. It's deeper than just what you're seeing, man. The Lord is the one who bringing Ye down to show other children of Israel that his word is true. He said that we're going to be a byword and an astonishment, and that he was going to chastise us before all of the nations. All right. So you wonder why, he raised up the Jewish people to become so we can be, jealous of them. Because they stole our position, they stole our spot, they stole our land, all of that, our name, all of that. Well, the Lord is, gonna, he's not gonna, Kanye is not gonna be the savior. All right. He's not gonna be the savior. The Lord is using Kanye to explain, to show you how this works. All right. The only thing that's going to be able to get us back in our position is not going to be us complaining about the Jewish man. All right. It's going to be about us obeying the Lord. All right. Kanye does not obey the Most High. All right. Even though, he watched some I.S.U.P.K videos and came to an understanding that, he's just going to say what we've always been saying. He's not serving him. He's not obedient to the Most High. He's a Christian. All right. He's not obedient to the Most High. So the Most High is not going to be able to use him to be able to free the the children of Israel. But he can use him to get more people to understand that we are the children of Israel, and then go to the priests and prophets and find out what the priests and prophets have to say about the children of Israel and what's required of the children of Israel. So what the Lord wants the children of Israel to do is, be able to hear that you are of the stock of Abraham, and then go and inquire of the prophets and find out what's required of you as being an Israelite. All right. So what's required of you is that you have to be obedient to your God. And you have to follow his laws as command. There's no other way outside of it. All right. The Most High put us in this position. The Most High is going to be the one who pulls us out of this position. All right. But until then, the Jewish people are going to call you monkeys. You do what I'm saying? They're going to call you niggers. They're going to, make you wear dresses, if you want acting roles. They're going to make, they're going to have a casting couch for our sisters. They're going to, make the men, they're going to make you make videos about killing and murdering and, telling you that you cannot, advance in this business without it. You have to talk about killing each other. You have to talk about, drug use and drug addiction. You have to talk about that. You have to, have it. You have to have, drugs on deck, prepared to kill each other. You know what I'm saying? You have to be unbrotherly and unsisterly towards one another. The Jewish man has all this available for you until you decide to follow your God. When you see that you are the children of Israel and this is not the way that we're supposed to go, that's when we can turn it around. That's when people won't have a reproach, when it comes to the children of Israel. And they will see, well, man, these people, they was following us at first, but now they understand who they are. We had them. And somebody going to get fired. They're going to fire somebody for allowing, the children of Israel to wake up. Who the hell done that? Because once the children of Israel wake up, guess what the fake Jews going to do? They just going to disappear because we're not going to be funding them no more. They living a lifestyle. You wondering why they're so rich. They're so rich because of us. Because we don't want to follow our God. That's why they're so rich, y'all. Kanye was saying that, I keep saying Kanye, I think, like I said, the brother changed his name. But Ye was saying that he was jealous that they don't do, they don't abort their babies and they don't do this and they don't do that. Well, you know why you're so jealous? Because we don't follow our God. If we followed the law, statutes, and commandments, you wouldn't be jealous of them. They would be jealous of you. That's why. You do what I'm saying? Aborting our babies is against the commandments. So that would stop, just do the commandments, and that would, all the things that he named, it would go to a cease if we just start to follow the commandments of God. Brotherhood is in the commandments. Sisterhood is in the commandments. You know what I'm saying? We're not allowed to, defile our temples. Did you understand? All of the things that we go through is because we don't follow the commandments of God. And the Jewish man makes it accessible for us to sin. Because as long as we're not following the commandments of God, they're going to be in power. Verse 9. He said, and I would do in thee that which I have not done, and whereunto I will not do any more the like, because of all thine abominations. You know what I'm saying? We're going through all we're going through because of all of the abominations that we're doing. Why do we have all these abominations? Because we are following the gods of these other nations. All the abominable gods of these other nations, we're following them. And that's why we the Most High has been against us. Therefore, the Father shall eat the Son in the midst of thee. and the son shall eat their father. And I will execute judgment in thee, and thy whole remnant of thee will I scatter into all the wind. So the Lord is saying, man, y'all gonna be against one another. The whole house of Israel gonna be against one another. Sisters gonna be against their mothers, mothers gonna be against their daughters. Fathers gonna be against their sons, sons gonna be against their fathers. Y'all are going to battle and hate one another. This is a curse, y'all, that the Lord put on us. And you would think, you'd be like, man, well, damn, when you break it down like that, you're making it like the Most High is evil. Why do I want to serve a God who's making us hate one another? Why do I want to serve a God like that? And don't even understand, you seeing it through carnal eyes, and don't even understand that the opposite of us hating and he allowing us to hate one another, that the power is in the commandment. The power, our power to be able to stop the curse is in the commandment. This is what we don't understand. The curses that we go through, we have power to stop it. It's like, all right, so let's say, for instance, you stealing every day, right? And you come home and, you know, they calling your mother and, you know, your mother telling you, or your father, they call your father and tell your father, you know, he been stealing. So you come home and get a whooping, boom, wham, wham, wham. He whooping you, right? Then the next day you go steal again. Come home, daddy whooping. So this go on for a week straight. And you come home every week, every day you come home from stealing, you get whooped. So the next day you decide, you know what? I ain't stealing today. I'm not doing this no more. And guess what happens? The whoopings just go away. When you decide that you're not stealing anymore, then the whoopings the punishment goes away. And this is, you know, the logic of it is so simple, but it's so complicated for us to get it. It's so complicated. It's to the point to where we enjoy the whoop. We're comfortable with getting the whooping. You do what I'm saying? We done gotten to the point where we're just comfortable and receiving the whooping. Well, you know what? I'm finna go on, you know, I'm finna go on steal, go home, get my whooping, and be cool. We cool with getting the whooping instead of, you know what? Why don't I just stop stealing? Then I don't have to worry about getting whoopings no more. I mean, it's so simple, but you know why we don't do it? Because we're comfortable with getting the whooping. We've been getting whooped so long that we're comfortable with it. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm just not going to do it so I can quit getting the whooping. And that's what, you know, that's the hard part, you know, about seeing our people in the conditions that we're in. It's hard for a brother to finally stop getting the whooping and then knowing how to stop other people from getting the whooping. And you telling them how to stop getting the damn whooping, but they like, you know what? I kind of like getting the whooping. I'm used to it. You do what I'm saying? I mean, these people keep pushing me to go steal and put, you know, they keep putting me in a position where I don't have the money to go and buy it. So I have to go steal it because they're making it to where I have to have it. I don't have the money to go buy the Gucci. But if I don't get it, then I will be laughed at and scorned by the people. So I have to go get it, and the only way I can get it is to steal it. And then what? I get the whooping. And that's the part where we don't understand, when it comes to, the other nations of people, and especially these fake Jews. Because they push us, to live a lifestyle that we actually can't afford to live. So we have to try to live this lifestyle by these means that don't meet the requirements of, the children of Israel and our God. Our God is against the way that we go in to receive and live this lifestyle. But they're pushing it to where we have to live this lifestyle. But our God is against the lifestyle. So, the more that they push it, the more they make it accessible for us to live. Well, we have to, realize that the accessibility is what's against our God. We have all the access in the world to go do all of the things that are against our God. And we don't understand that's the trap that's going to keep us getting the whooping. All right. Verse 11 says, wherefore, as I live, said the Lord God, surely because thou hast defiled my sanctuary with all thy detestable things and with all thine abominations, therefore will I also diminish thee. Neither shall my eye spare, neither will I have any pity. And you wonder, and you be like, well, dang. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this deep, man. You wonder and be like, dang, man, why is he allowing the world to, treat us the way that they treat us? And if you're in a Christian church, you believe that God loves us regardless of, how we are. You know what I'm saying? That's what you was taught, no matter how we are, no matter what state we in, God gonna love us anyway, and he got our back. No matter what we do, he got our back. And, that's not nowhere in the Bible. The Most High has always turned on the children of Israel when they turned on him. All right. And that's just, in my opinion, is fair. You do what I'm saying? I believe that it's fair that we going through what we're going through when we refuse to listen to him and also listen to the people that he's seen. We get persecuted. We get, people laugh at us, make jokes about us and everything when we just have we are probably the only people who have the best interest, have the people in, our best interest. We are for the people 100%. And we just want our people to stop going against their God. We have the answers. The Lord has given us the answers. We give the people the answers, and the people, don't accept it. They reject it. They laugh at us. They scorn us. They do all of these things when, but don't understand that we were sent by God to tell y'all. No matter if you like it or not. And the Lord he's against us because of that. And he doesn't have any pity whatsoever, man. He will kill the baby, and he will kill the elder. You dig what I'm saying? He has no pity when it comes to us following and serving these other gods. He has absolutely no pity. He said, the third part should die with the pestilence, and with famine, and they should be consumed in the midst of thee. A third part shall fall by the sword round about thee, and I will scatter a third part to the wind. He said, my anger will be accomplished, and I will cause my fury to rest upon them, and I will be comforted. And they shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken it in my zeal, when I have accomplished my fury for them. He said, moreover, I will make thee waste, and a reproach amongst the nations that are round about thee, in the sight of all that pass by. So it shall be a reproach and a taunt, an instruction and an astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when I shall execute judgment and thee in anger and in fury and in furious rebukes. I, the Lord, have spoken. So the Lord said, man, that the people are going to see us and we're going to be a reproach to them. These other nations of people, and they're going to taunt us. All right. They're going to taunt the children of Israel. You do what I'm saying? They're going to always look down on us and, call us names and point the finger. And I mean, all of the things. You always wonder why, when we do something, they do the most, but then, they take up for their own people. Their own people can do the exact same thing, but get a slap on the wrist. But we do the same thing and we get the electric chair. You do what I'm saying? That's because the Lord has made us a reproach to the heathen. He's allowed the heathen to look down on us in any state that they're in. I had a dude, I was at camp. I had a dude, he had to be like a homeless dude. He looked like he was homeless anyway. And we up there speaking, telling the people, stop sinning and, come back to the Lord. And the white boy was like, I wish I would just shut up. That's what he told us. He said, I wish y'all would just shut up. Y'all come out here making all this noise, and I just wish y'all just shut up. And it's a homeless dude. You know what I'm saying? Talking to the priests and prophets of the Lord. All right. He could care less who we were. You know what he seen when he seen us? Niggas. That's what he seen. He doesn't see, a brother or some brothers with, 10,000 angels with him. He see niggas. He don't care about, we feeding the people. He don't care about we clothing the people. He don't care about the prison program. He don't give a damn about none of that. You know what he see when he see us? Niggas. You do what I'm saying? It don't matter what state they're in, we are niggas to them, regardless. No matter what we do, you can have your own business in a Fortune 500 company. That's what you are to that homeless dude, a nigga, regardless. And that's what, that's how we are reproached. And the Lord allowed that to happen to us, man, because we don't follow him. All right, we're going to drop that. We're going to go to Jeremiah 44. Jeremiah 44. Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 2. You got it, Agua? Jeremiah 44 and 2. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Judah. And behold, this day they are a desolation. No man dwelleth therein, because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, in that they went and burnt incense and to serve other gods, whom they knew not, neither they, ye, nor your fathers. So the children of Israel, this is the history of why and when the Lord started to just destroy us as a people. All right. Because, we went to go burn incense and serve other gods. And we, burn incense, that signifies us praying to other gods. All right. So, we were praying to other gods, and our families never knew these Christian gods. You know, so our forefathers didn't know Christian gods and Muslim gods, Allahs and all this. Don't let the Muslims fool you, man. Allah is another God. All right, he's not. They'll try to tell you, well, we all serve the same God. We just call him a different name. No, we don't. No, we do not. All right, their God is not the God of Israel. You know, the Christian God is not the God of Israel. You know, none of those gods are, you know, outside of, you know, the Israelites. You know, we aren't supposed to serve any other God but the God of Israel. It said, howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. So the Lord is telling you why, you know, why he don't have no pity on us. Why he's allowed us to go through this, why he's allowed us to fall so far, why he's allowed, you know, the nations to, you know, call us all kind of names, to be a reproach and an astonishment and a proverb, is because he sent his prophets and we didn't listen to the prophets. The prophets came and said, do not do this because the Lord is against it. You see us going out in these streets, on these corners, yelling at the top of our lungs, saying, do not do this, the Lord is against it. Well, this is one of the reasons why the Most High punishing us, because we refuse to listen to the messengers. We don't listen to the messengers. He said, I'm reading one more time, verse 4. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not do this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not. They didn't listen, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense to other gods. Because in reality, that's what it's all about. All of, you know, everything goes back to that. All roads lead back to serving other gods. All right. Everything. If you're not being brotherly, you know what you're doing? Serving another God. If you're stealing, guess what you're doing? Serving another God. You know, everything goes back to serving another God, because the Most High, Most High said don't steal. So if you're stealing, that means what? You're not serving him. Because if you were serving him, you wouldn't be stealing. So when you're stealing, that means you're not serving the Most High. All roads lead back to serving other gods. All right. He said, wherefore my fury and my anger was poured forth and was kindled in the cities of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem. And they are wasted desolate. He said, therefore now, thus said the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls. So the Most High is saying, he said, to cut off you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain. So the Most High is saying that it ain't nobody's fault but our own. We are the ones who are causing this to happen. Shalom, brother. What's going on, McGee? What's shalom? Hey, we the ones who causing this to happen to us. All right, we going through what we going through. The nations of people are looking at us like we crazy. The nations of people are laughing and scorning the blacks when we say that we the true Jews. You know why? Because we brought that upon ourselves by serving other gods. No other nation of people, everybody would believe that we were the true Jews if we just served our God. I mean, it ain't even complicated. It wouldn't even be an issue, because the Lord would do what? Why is it so important that we serve our God? And why would the other nations of people believe that we are the true Jews if we serve our God? Go ahead.
Because he would be on our side.
And he would do what? And what would he?
He would exalt us over all the rest of the nations.
There you go. Give yourself a hand. Because he would do what he said he was going to do. He was going to put us above all nations of people. If we just served our God, then we would be above all nations of people. He would exalt us over those people. So it wouldn't be a doubt that who the true Jews were, who the true children of Israel is. But you know why it's a doubt? Because we don't follow the law, statutes, commandments. That's why it's a doubt. It wouldn't be a doubt if we did. All right. He said in verse 8. Verse 8, in that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands. See, so this is the Most High saying, he's telling us why we going through it. It's because we have all the power in the world to stop it. We could actually stop what we going through by simply just turning around and start to do what he said do. And stop burning damn incense to other gods. Hey, burn it, and burning incense, like I said, it just means, you know, we praying to other gods. Burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whether ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourself off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. So he's saying, why would you go, you know, and into these other lands where I send you at? Why would you go into these other lands and start to serve their gods? You know that I'm the one who's sending you into these other lands. So now you go into these other lands and you go from the top to the bottom. So naturally, you would think that everybody would be like, you what? You know what? Why don't I just start doing what he say do so I can get back on top? Why we at the very bottom, even though we serving they gods. This the part that's stupid to me right here. Even though we are in compliance with these other nations of people. We are in total compliance with them. We serve your gods. We shoot and kill each other because you tell us to. We abort our babies because you tell us to. We fight in your wars. You know, we fight other nations of people for you. You know what I'm saying? Wherever we at, we're the most loyal people to those people. But yet, we still on the bottom. Even though we are super loyal to them, we are still on the bottom. You would think that one day we'll just wake up and be like, you know what? No matter what we do, it's not going to be enough. So why don't we just get our own? Why don't we just, you know, and that's what, you know, when it comes to like, yay, and all of these $1 billion, $1 billion, you know, black people and Hispanics, you would think that they would just come together and be like, you know what? Well, dang, why don't we just have our own record labels? Why don't we get our own? You remember that time they tried to boycott Hollywood because no black people won no Oscars one year? Yeah. Well, you would think that, you know what? Why don't we have our own Oscar show? And what did the white man do once all the black people boycotted them? They started giving black roles to Africans. You notice that? A lot of people don't even notice that. That when that happened, that's when they started giving all the black roles to Africans. So now you got the people who sent you in slavery playing you as a slave. And this is what we're going through, man. We are a reproach to the heathen, man. But the Most High said, you know, it's all our fault because we just refuse to listen to him. We refuse to listen to his servants, the prophets, and we just, you know, want to be loyal to these other nations of people and serve their gods. He said, ye have forgotten the wickedness of your fathers and the wickedness of the kings of Judah and the wickedness of their wives and your own wickedness and the wickedness of your wives, and have committed in the land of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem. They are not humble even unto this day. Even unto this day, we still ain't humble ourselves and be like, you know what? We wrong. Why don't we just come together, man, and stop serving their gods? Why don't we come together, you know, even though we see all of the things that's happening inside of their nation, why don't we just separate ourselves from that? We'll never be Americans. Why don't we just be us? He said, and I will make the remnant of Judah. He said, they are not humble unto this day, neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your father. Therefore, thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah. And I will take the remnant of Judah, and I set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn them, and they shall be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by famine. They shall die from the least unto the even to the greatest. That's what I was talking about when the Lord said he has no pity. He mean that. Even from the least of us to the greatest of us will still have to go through these curses. And the Lord ain't going to have no pity. He said, and they shall be execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach. All right. From the billionaire to the broke nigga, you're going to have to go through these curses. You're going to have to be an astonishment, a reproach, you know, an excursion. I don't even know what that means. Well, look up that word. Excretion. Execration. Salaki. EXECRATION. I'm finna say EXE-cration. EXE-cration. You see? Look up that word, because there got to be something heavy that we going through. Execration.
According to Wiktionary, execration, an act or instance of cursing, a curse dictated by violent feelings of hatred, an imprecation, an expression of utter detestation.
That's clear to us. We going through that every single day. An act of hatred, an act of, you know, cursing at us, you know, calling us niggers. And I mean, you know, that's that, and the Lord said, the scripture said that's going to happen from the least of us to the greatest of us. You know, and that's, I wish everybody could understand how all of our issues and all of our problems are right here inside of this Bible, man. You know, people will look at it, that's a man-made book. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even have a clue on how this book wasn't written to everybody, how it's specifically talking about us and our condition. It's not talking about everybody and everybody's condition. This is specifically talking about us. It's dealing with us, and nobody else is dealing with the things that we are dealing with, because, you know, the Lord didn't put everybody in that position. He put us in that position because we burning incense and following these other gods. All right. That's why we in this position. And that's why we are a reproach to the heathen. All right. Drop that, man. Let's go to I'm going to go to the book of Ezra in the Apocrypha. The book of Ezra, chapter, let's go to 4. Second Ezra, let's go to second Ezra. Second Ezra 4 and 22. Second Ezra chapter 4, verse 22. Aqua, you there? All right, just let me know.
Second Ezra what?
Chapter 4, verse 22.
Okay, come there.
It said, then answered I beseech thee, O Lord, let me have understanding. So now this is Ezra. Ezra was going back and forth with the angel, right? He wanted to find out the understanding of, all things that was causing, all things that whatever the angel could let him know, things that were, of the heavens and things that were of the earth, and Ezra was just asking him all of these questions. So this is one of the questions, and this is one of the things that Ezra wanted understanding is, and that's Ezra. This is actually the prophet Ezra, scribe Ezra. SHALAM. He wanted to have understanding. He said, for verse 23, for it was not my mind to be curious of the high things, but of such as pass by us daily, namely, wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen, and for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is given over to ungodly nations, and why the law of our forefathers is brought to naught, and the written covenants come to no effect. So this is something that Ezra's like, look, I don't want to know, why the firmament is there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to learn all of the heavenly things. Just teach me what's right here in front of me. He's like, just give me an understanding of what's right here in front of me. And what's right here in front of me is, why are we a reproach to the heathen? He said, the people who you love so much, why did you allow us to become a reproach to the heathen? And, and that's some of the things that we need to ask. He said, and we've been given over to these ungodly nations. So why would you let your people go into these lands, where all of these people are so ungodly? These people are nasty. They serve all these crazy gods. They, celebrate all these crazy holidays. They, just believe in kill, kill, kill. Why did you let your people fall into the hands of such ungodly people? He said, and why has our law come to naught? Why did you allow us to go into these nations and be around these people, and then we forget our law and the covenants that you made with us? We forget. We get around these nations of people, and now we forget how to do the law, and now we forget about the covenant that you gave us, and only us. This is a question that you should be asking. Why would the Lord allow us to do that? Why are we not following the law such a commandment? Why don't we know that we the true Jews? Why don't we have an understanding of the covenant that was only given to us? Why don't we understand that we Israel? And verse 24 said, and we pass away out of this world as grasshoppers, and our life is an astonishment and fear, and we are not worthy to obtain mercy. He said, and we just die. You know what I'm saying? We just die like, in it, it's nothing for us to die. We just die throughout the world, and it ain't nothing for us to do it. And our life is just, we just full of fear. We scared to fight back. You understand? We scared to lose whatever little bit that we got, and we scared to fight back. We live in so much fear. Even the toughest dude you think is the toughest dude, he's just coward. Straight coward. Because he ain't willing to lose his life for a just cause. And that's a coward. He living in fear. He's living in fear. And we're not able to obtain mercy. We ain't able to get mercy from the Most High, because he's not going to give us mercy when we, blatantly rejecting him. We're not even worthy of asking for mercy because we are blatantly rejecting him. We know that we sinning and still sin. We know that we wrong and still do it. Verse 25 says, what will he do then? What will then do? What will he then do unto his name whereby we are called? Of these things have I asked. So now he's asking, he's like, man, this is what I'm asking. What is he going to do about us? Is he just going to is he going to allow us to just, you know, be a reproach to the heathen forever? Are we going to be in these lands forever, just doing what we do? You know, forgetting about the law, forgetting about everything that we do. Are we just going to be here? And then he answered me. Then answered he me. Now, this is the angel giving him an answer to all the things he just asked. He said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. For the world has fast to pass away. It was like the more that you look for these answers that you're asking, the more that you're going to marvel at the answers that you're going to receive. The more that you search for answers, the more you're going to marvel at. You're going to see that, you know, and this is something that, you know, when you come into the truth and the Lord allows you to have that light to be able to see, you're going to find out that, you know, it's going to amaze you how far we have fallen. And it's going to amaze you how simple the answer to our problems is. That's what's going to be such a marvel to us, to you. You're going to marvel that the answer is like we have all the access to the answer. And it's going to amaze you how much our people see it daily, but don't want to go to it. We know the answer, but we don't want to go. We don't want to change what we've been doing. That's going to be the marvel right there. That's going to be the marvel that we see, the shocking answer. The shocking revelation is, well, dang, it's right here in our face. And we just don't want it. Because we'll rather be on the bottom than be on the top. You'd be surprised. I asked a sister one time, man, I was like, man, you know, man, we're supposed to be above all nations of people. And she was like, I don't want to be above all nations. I want to be equal. I said, damn. That was hard. But she was dead serious. She was like, we don't know what it feels like to be above. Right. That's the real answer she was trying to say. She feared being above other people. She feared being great. It was fear that I heard inside of her. Because she don't know what it feels like to be great. All she know is, you know, to be less than or at best be equal, but not be above. And that's what you're going to marvel at, because you're going to see the vast majority of our people thinks that exact same way. They don't want to be above. They want to be either, you know, below or at best equal. He said, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. But as concerning the things wherefore thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not come. So what the angel is telling him, it was like, look, evil came into the world, right? And when evil comes, then destruction comes with evil. All right. So destruction has to come with evil. All right. This is something that the Christian church won't teach you. The Christian church would never, the Muslim also won't even teach you that, you know, the world that we know of today, it's evil. And it has to be destroyed. It has to be. In order for you to be able to, like, if you got some bad ground, well, you got to till and, you know, You got to do things in order to make that bad ground back good again. The bad ground got to go in order for the good ground to come. All right. So this is what, in order for us to be able to see good fruit, well, we got to get rid of the bad fruit. We got to get rid of the bad tree. Got to get rid of the bad soil in order to be able to replant to get good soil, to get good trees, to get good fruit. He said, but as concerning the things where thou askest me, I will tell thee, for evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not come yet. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that was sown it with good? So you have to get rid of the evil in order to, bring out the good. This is something that has to happen. In order for us to get rid of, in order for us to be a righteous nation, well, we got to get rid of the evil niggas that's in the nation. That's holding us back. They got to pass on. They got to die off. All right? And this is what has to happen. You might not want to hear it that way, but your grandma and them and all them, them old evil, the old guard has to go away. And a new guard has to come. All them pastors, the Christian church has to be destroyed. So the Lord can put in new leadership. All the old leaders have to be destroyed. So the new leadership can come and guide the people in the right direction. And you are seeing this right before your eyes today. New leadership is coming. The Lord is allowing new leadership to be able to lead his people because the old guard failed us. All right? The old guard failed us and it has to die. And the new guard has to take over. So that's one of the reasons why we are going through what we're going through. But let's go to 1 Kings 8:47. I'm going to end with that. But that's why we are reproached, because the old heads are not allowing the new to come. We are reproached because the old heads were comfortable being a reproach. They comfortable with being, in the position that they in, and for us to be on the bottom. So now they got to die out, and we got to get new leadership that's not going to have any fear, because the old guard had fear, and that's why we are reproached, because they're not teaching us to come back to the Lord, to not be a reproach anymore. All right, 1 Kings, select. 1 Kings 8:47. All right, 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 47. Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives, and repent and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that were carried them captives, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely. We have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, towards the east, which thou gavest unto their father, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which thou hast built for thy name. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all that is transgression, and all their transgressions, wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them away captive, that they have compassion on them. This is how we get back in the good graces of God. All right, the Most High punished us before the heathen. I done read it 4 or 5 times in the scriptures. How he's doing this publicly. He ain't, in private punishing us. He's doing this publicly. All right, he's publicly punishing us before the people. Well, guess what? We have to publicly come back to him before these other nations of people. In the midst of our enemies. What does that look like? What does that mean to come back to him in the midst of our enemies? That means when the enemy is selling us drugs and pumping and making it accessible for us to, get all, carry out all kind of sins. Well, we have to say no. That's what it means to publicly do it, to come back to the Lord publicly. When the Lord say, when our enemies say, you know what, abort your babies, we got to come back and say, you know what, we can't abort our babies. It's against our God to abort our babies. We have to be able to say that publicly. When we, the Lord, when our enemies telling us to, sell dope, we got to say, no, we can't do that against our brothers. We can't sell to our people and kill and destroy our people. When the enemy is saying, you know what, why don't y'all push, make rap songs about killing one another all day and, all of this stuff, we got to say, you know what? Nah, we ain't making y'all rich off of that no more. That's done. We finna, matter of fact, we finna get our own record labels and start doing it our way. When they telling y'all to, go work on the Sabbath, nah, you know what? We finna get our own businesses so where we can be off on the Sabbath. You dig what I'm saying? We got to be able to start doing this before the enemies. Choosing the Lord, we got to think ourselves like the Lord just said. What does that mean? That means that we have to think over, have a better thought pattern than what we would. We got to start thinking about the Lord, doing what the Lord said do. Instead of doing what all these heathen nations expect us to do and want us to do. We got to say, you know what, we ain't doing that no more. And that's going to take courage to be able to do that. That's going to take courage to be able to tell a heathen, to tell these heathen nations, nah, we ain't doing that no more. Matter of fact, we can start doing it like this. You're going to become an astonishment. They're going to be like, well, damn. Well, they not slaves no more. They actually starting to learn how to be free. Because following the commandments of God is what make you free. It's what people will start looking at you and being like, dang, you know what? Well, they starting to become what? They not slaves no more. They don't have to listen to they ain't listening to what we saying no more. They ain't falling for none of our tricks no more. They ain't out here killing each other, shooting their baby. They actually, the men is in the household. They raising up families and, having their own businesses and hospitals and doing it. Damn, somebody got to pay for this. Who allowed them to become free? How was your Jewish friends going to say? Your Jewish friends ain't going to like you no more. You know why? Because you're not going to be needing them anymore. Yeah, they only like you because they can use you. They're not going to like you no more. Your white friends, your African friends, they ain't going to like you no more. You quit going to these Chinese nail salons. Yeah, they're going to go back to China. What's the point of them being over here? You know what I'm saying? They ain't selling to the white people. They selling to you. Well, you ain't buying it no more. In Korean nail salons. They going back to Korea now. You know what I'm saying? Well, the nigga don't buy no more. He no buy no more. They open own shop. They don't need us no more. And they're gonna go back over there. Because the only reason they here is because you the consumer. That's why they here. But they're gonna go back and they still gonna call you a nigga and they're gonna go back though. Because you're not gonna sell to them. I mean, you're not gonna buy from them no more. But that's how it works, man. You know, that's the power of, regaining, who you are. All you blackety black dudes out there, ain't no power in being a blackety black. Ain't no power in being an Egyptian when you're an Israelite. Ain't no power in being a Muslim. Ain't no power in being no Christian. Y'all been all that and still on the bottom. There's power in getting your identity back, your heritage back, your customs, your culture back. There's power in that, man. That's where the power is at. And that's how you stop being a reproach to the heathen. All right. Y'all got any questions about anything? All right. Well, we the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Start out on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under command of General YAHANNA. I'm Austin Laquam of the Nashville School, and that's my time. Shalom.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my people. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. 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 I'm in a hell of a hole. Was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road. That a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home. Only a place of captivity, save facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I'm back gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember YAHANNA's words. ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback to bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed fast for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new pair of bellums.